Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, your source for exceptional video analysis of stocks, ETFs, and indices so you can become a better trader. Welcome back. Today is Monday, August 10th. Take a look at the market action today, and then we're going to look at four stocks tonight. These are four stocks that were the biggest percentage movers of the 35 or 36 or so that I'm following closely. So we're looking at YOKU, Twitter, Valero, and Apache. All right, start off here with the Dow Industrials. The Dow was up 241 points today. Big move today. And why is that? It happened because China had disappointing news on their economy. I think it was exports or something like that was down, dramatically. So the anticipation was that China's going to have to stimulate more, and therefore Shanghai Composite and the rest of the indices jumped, and I think Shanghai was up about 5%. So, that happened, and then I think there was something else about, Buffett was buying some company, and, bottom line is there was a bullish tone to the market today, and surprise, surprise, the market had been down, 7 days in a row, at least on the Dow Industrials. So right now we still have the stair-stepping down the Dow Industrials, lower highs, lower lows. That is still continuing. We'll see how long. Now the S&P 500 is not quite the same scenario. We broke through here on Friday, but we didn't get any continuation today. So we pull back up here. Have we gotten to we taken out this high or taken out this high? No, not yet. We'll see what happens. This big bar just kind of like this day here back on July 28th. So all we can do is just keep monitoring, trying to take the pulse of the market. The NASDAQ, similar type move, it popped. Not a big range today in terms of what it's doing. Small range, but gapped up. And the New York Composite, a little bigger range. Up here again, all the markets gapped up this morning on the initial market opening. So trying to look to see, not really seeing anything other than the moving average. This is 233 days, just sideways. Again, not taking out the lows in here yet. We're just starting to get a little bit of some kind of consolidation type activity. We'll see whether or not we break back down. Russell 2000. Now again, I talked about this with the Dow. These two, the Russell 2000 and the Dow, are the two that are stair-stepping down, going to lower lows. And I thought that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure why the correlation, honestly. Short-term trading index, it dropped a little bit because of the bullish action. Look how low the trend was today. 0.40 was the reading, and the 10-day is 1.02, so that's coming back down, but it's still not close to being extreme by any means. The VIX, I talked about this on Saturday, how I said, this 21-day moving average is pretty hard down, and it just would surprise me that this would be able to make a lot of movement against that strong of a downtrending, near-term moving average, short-term moving average. Well, actually, it's medium term. This is the shorter one, the 10. This is the 21. But and look what happens. So we get the market pops and the VIX drops. So that's not going anywhere. The high-low. So we're up 240 points on the Dow today, and we have a positive 2 more new highs than new lows for 52-week. It's not very dramatic, and the reason is so many stocks are down, way down from their 52-week highs. All right, so that's painting any kind of a bullish picture there. Let's take a look at the high-yield bond fund. Take a look at those some of these key ETFs. High-yield bond fund just pulled back a little bit here, just like with the market. So it comes back up, kind of close this little gap, and we'll see if it does anything more after that. The next one is TLT, and that's right here. And this dropped down today. So what looked like possibly breaking above resistance, then it pulls right back on down. So I'm going to get rid of this trend line because I'm not so sure that that's going to hold. We may end up having another trend line that's between here and here if this turns down. So bonds dropping means interest rates went up slightly today on the long-term basis. The dollar dropped. And here we go. So US dollar dropped. So this picture that I told you I was kind of suspicious that we're still doing some corrective action. It sure looks like it to me. It looks like we're pushing sideways. You know, what exactly it's doing, I don't, at this point, don't know. But all I could tell you is it's just continuing to push sideways. Oil popped today. And let's see, I don't know exactly, see where it closed. Okay, so crude oil on the futures closed at $44.81, actually down 15 cents today, but USO was up. And let's see, gold, we'll get to gold next. So, you know, still got a solid downtrend here. Nothing changing in that picture. And then GLD is the last one we'll take a look at. There we go. And GLD jumped today. Gold was actually, it's kind of weird. I'm not sure why. Maybe these futures, I think what I'm seeing is I'm seeing futures because this is like 6:40 p.m. Central Time. I'm seeing futures activity that's happening in the after hours into the evening. So that, I mean, there's no way gold was down with this kind of a move. So gold had to have been up today. And I don't have that reading right in front of me. But anyway, GLD's popped up here. Then here's what got my attention. You know, we talked about how this was just not breaking down below this point. It would be very bearish if it did. And so now we're pushing sideways, kind of a counter trend move developing. We could come up and close this gap. That's why I put this little oval in here, because we could close this gap. It's a pretty substantial gap, and that would be, you know, something that could happen fairly quickly, and then it reverses back down. So that'd be something to watch for. All right, let's take a look at YOKU To-Do. It's our first stock tonight. So, you know, some of the Japanese stocks really popped, some didn't. Now this one is one that did. Now, you know, the longer term trend on YOKU is up with the 55 above the 233. Intermediate is down. Short term just crossed in here. So we got a couple days trading above the 10, and then we get this pop. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not this is just counter trendish, and that's what it looks like, smells like to me. You know, it could close this little gap in here and pull back up to the 55 and then come back down. I don't know. I mean, that's just the way it looks. Let's see if the indicators are telling us anything. Oh, you know what? Some of these my volume data is not always showing up the way it should. So here's the demand index has turned positive. So the demand index is positive. DI plus is above DI minus, so that's a positive. The RSI is clearly moved above the 50, so that has moved into positive territory up above here. And so all the indicators are saying positive. I mean, this could be the start of a run. I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe this is the wave 2. We got a 1. Maybe this is 2, and we're starting the next one up. Well, we'll have to keep that in mind and keep watching. The next one is Twitter. And Twitter, you know, had a move up today. Actually, see, YOKU was up 10.5%. Twitter up 9.1%. But again, this really hard to tell if this is anything more than just a snapback. You know, you stretch the rubber band far enough, it's going to snap back. That looks like what it's doing. I looked at all the indicators earlier, and I don't see any divergence picture that's showing up on this. I just think it's a pullback. And so we'll just have to watch to see how far does it get. I mean, you got this gap up in here. Don't know that it's going to get there. But that's the Twitter. So Twitter was popping today. Valero had a big move up. Valero was up, 5.5%, not as much as the rest of them. Now the thing about Valero, the wave count got a little funky in here trying to diagnose it, but I still think we have a fourth primary wave pulled back here. Let me zoom out a little bit. So I think we've got a fourth primary and we're working a fifth, and it's interesting that we are getting parallel lines on this move. So what I did was I took this pullback here and drew a trend line here and said, okay, create a parallel line. Then I pull it over and it fit just perfectly right between these 2 points. So what this looks like to me, excuse me, is a wave 1, intermediate wave 1, 2 pullback, 3 up here, and then a fourth that seems to have staggered out, some kind of complex fourth wave, and that we're working a fifth wave here. Now, I'm a little cautious about this move. None of the indicators confirm that move yet. Now, it doesn't mean it can't do it in the next day or two if it continues to push, but none of them have pushed to new highs above this previous high here. So I'm a little suspicious that if you pull back down below this high here, that this is going to be a bull trap. That's what I'm a little cautious, a little suspicious about. But right now, I mean, the trend is so strong to the high side here that that's not something I'm going to try to play. And at this point, and because the ADX, let's see, the ADX is 31, so it's in strong trending mode. All right, and let's see, Apache is the last one we'll take a look at tonight. And Apache, of course, with oil bouncing, Apache's bounced. Apache had a nice little, looks like a reversal bar here. We'll see if it's, we saw that on USO, and we'll see whether this is going to hold. But right now, it seems to be coming true. And what I did was, I said, well, okay, if this continues to pull back, how far could we get? And where's the next resistance zone? So to me, I put my initial line in this congestion right here, and then a line at the bottom of the congestion where buying came in, and then it broke down through that. So this should be resistance. So this looks like a potential resistance zone to me. So where is that? About 52.5 to 53.5. And so if this continues to push up, I would be looking for resistance in there. And then the previous low over here was right above that. And then, of course, you've got the 55-day moving average that's pulling down. So that's the picture on Apache. All right, that's it for tonight. Look for me to put out a couple of videos, profile videos, stock analysis videos on individual stocks over the next day or two, for sure for tomorrow. And then I'll be back with you guys on Wednesday night with another market update. We'll see how things are shaping up then. All right, this has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. And if you're watching this anywhere besides my website at joehenches.net, head on over there, check out the posts, and especially Saturday's post. And everybody have a great Tuesday, Wednesday. Talk to you soon.